Good evening, friends. We're starting pretty late because I spent the last several hours trying to sort out my audio issues, and hopefully they're working now. As far as I can tell from my tests, it's working, but I don't know why it started, and so I'm not confident it's not going to return. Regardless, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to stream, and if you hear crackling on my mic, please let me know, and we'll go from there. Alright, random spam message as soon as it started. Alright, so we're continuing on with the dimensional challenges, which I guess means it's time for organized chaos, which I really wanted to avoid because it sounds miserable, but we gotta do it at some point, so here we are. So, targets of spells are chosen randomly and undo is disabled. Start with Volatile Gauge, so we draw extra cards, but they're of random costs. And shuffle the position of all units in the train after combat. I assume that's still on the same floor, because that's how it worked in Monster Train 1. But maybe it is totally random. Either way. It's so weird for that screen to be as empty as it is, but it's because we're on Covenant 0, so we don't even have the starting banner unit or cards, which is even weirder. Anyways, so friendly units gain Avarice or Shadow Sheath. We might just want Shadow Sheath here, because like there's a world where we get like Test Subject Alpha and then we just give it good equipment and that's it. And it gets around kind of the issue of needing, like, a tank, because it will hopefully be stealth the whole time. I guess we'll try it. We'll see what happens. I don't normally like Shadow Sheath, because it's very liable to mess things up. I also forget how Volatile Gauge works with infusions. I assume they still come out at a random cost, but I don't actually know. I don't think we really want Incant Unstable. I guess we'll do this. Let's see what we can do. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we're going to play Arechi on his own, and just play these guys here. Yeah, really not helpful Volatile Gauge. I mean, at least we get one Spear Steward who is not being ruined. Well, I was hoping for red infusion. Okay. So we're going to try to build that up over the next couple turns. Yeah. Well, almost got the kill. Okay, and we do have Wing Spirit, which allows us to full heal the front units once per battle, which is something. Okay, let's just build this up. The problem is, I'm pretty sure this doesn't have to be played on just friendly units, so I can't really play this out here, otherwise there's a chance it buffs the enemy. But once this floor, like after this floor, we'll be able to use it with impunity. The question is just, do I want to do the fire starter here? Nope. Didn't work. Nope. Fuck me. I tried. I was just trying to get the kill there, but didn't work out. Well, took a little bit of damage. Not that big a deal. And we can full heal our dudes. And... Alright. He's basically dead. But we're just going to set up for the next floor. As Orechi is now definitely able to kill. Alright. There we go. Bit clumsy. We almost got through without taking damage, but not quite. Yeah, I'll take the Twisted Assistant. I will take a Flicker, I guess. And we're gonna go here looking for, like, Test Subject Alpha. No. And it's only spells that are chosen randomly, so if that is accurate, then Meat Hook should be able to work. Alternatively, we could do Hulking Mass looking for, like, a Spikes build. Not really wild about that. I'll take Meat Hook for now, under the assumption that it is actually not lying to me. God, it feels like such a waste, but I'm going to do it. I should have just done holdover for the Flicker. But, here we are. Here we are. Draw -1 is whatever. Yeah, Volatile Gauge affecting even deployment Ember is rather annoying. Okay, so it does still let me target like normal, as it should. We don't want red, or we don't want green, we want red. I mean, like, green's good, but at the moment we want the ability to... I just want to be able to buff. Like, I don't want the damage shield. Unfortunately, I can't kill you. I'm gonna pull there, so he's still gonna get a slay, and whatever, we knock out an enemy. I don't know that that's correct. Yeah, like, I can do the infusion right now, but it still won't be enough to kill him next turn. Oh, yeah, never mind. I keep thinking that he... No, I'm correct. He is giving haste to all of them. Okay, whatever. We'll just take a little bit of higher damage. That's okay. Plus, this guy ended up in front anyway, so Orechi doesn't even get to attack. We're gonna do that, except now I don't have the energy to play that. Whatever. Mistake on my part, but that's okay. I mean, we've won it, it's just gonna take us a little while to get there. Yeah, whatever. Because once he gets to top floor, Orechi just wins the fight, no problem. Okay, we are going to do this now, although I should have played this out too. Whatever, enjoy. But now our 74 damage Orechi is gonna easily cleave through him. Explosive reaction is, again, a little worrisome. I might take the potion kit, but probably not. I'm gonna skip, though I do kind of want it. We're gonna skip those. And we're gonna try again for test subject alpha. Like, there are other things I can do, but that's my best option at the moment, though. Not really anymore. And now we gotta figure out some way to make this work. Sorry, Bone Dog, we're gonna take your pendant. It's just way too hard to keep you safe during this run. Okay. Well, let's minus cost of that. Well, I still wish that I had a holdover for the flicker. The question is it worth doing this to make another free-to-play one? Maybe. I guess I'm gonna do it. It doesn't matter a ton is the problem, because whenever there are enemies on the same floor, I can't really risk using the infusions. So my options are getting somewhat limited. Okay, whatever, we'll just leave it like that. Look, you're not getting attacked this turn because of the stealth. Well, not the target we wanted, but it's the target we got, I guess. Fair enough. And I can't just... So I was thinking, like, I'll just play him top, and then Archeon will attack him. Doesn't work, because he also has stealth. Well, so be it. Not wild about you being 3 cost, nor about you now not being in front. But hey, here we are. I really want more attack, not more damage shields. Okay, so if I do this... So I could also, like, do this. I take the 5 damage hit, but then he would hit and kill him. Well, put him down to 1 HP, and then the unstable would explode them, which is probably good enough. And then I could use the flicker here. So I think that is what we're going to do. Although he does get stronger, whatever, fine. And I don't have your ability for next turn, which is okay. Not great, but it's technically fine. Unfortunately, I can't, like, block, because I can put down a Spear Steward, but then it doesn't block for you because he has stealth. And, like, I can heal the full, but they're still doing enough damage to kill him, so that is a moot point. So I guess we'll play you out and just get damage there, which does kill you, which is not exactly what I meant. Oh well. We're doing this for the time being. Oh, it's because he kills himself. I did forget about that. Okay. Well, not who I wanted to target, but so be it. Well, again, not at all who I wanted, but fine. Alright, well, poor Spear Steward dies, and and some of them die, and yada yada yada. Here we go. At least with the twisted back, he gets a bit of extra strength now, since he gets, well, A, he's killing one and hurting the other one. And B, he gets rage on strike, which is nice. I could try using a fire starter there. I don't think that's worth it. Unfortunately, like, I'm very bad at buffing. Okay, you're fine. Come on. Hey. Because anytime I try to buff, there's always a chance that it can hit the enemy. Which is just really not good. Okay, well, we'll do that, and so be it. The problem is I am likely dead. Because I think I have to risk using the infusion, which is a 50-50 chance to either buff me majorly or make the enemy unkillable. And I guess we can do this, and now it's 2/3 chance to work in my favor. Okay. That's all we needed. And now we're gonna win just fine. But if it had hit the enemy, which I'm pretty confident can hit, then I would have died. Because he'd suddenly have a bunch of damage shields and have massively higher attack. And that would be bad. I mean, Spike of the League is cool. Scrap for parts is a maybe. Because it would help me get the Twisted Assistant super quickly. There's also technically an interesting option. It's weird though. I lean towards Spike over the League, but we're definitely gonna struggle to put that to good use. Like, I'd have to hit intrinsic, basically. But it is good. It's quite good. I guess we're going to take the Spike, and we'll see what we can do. Hothead is appealing. Yeah, we'll take Hothead. And we'll take Ember. Okay, well, I definitely want to buff you up. Ooh. Cursed Dragonstaff is something. Is that enough? Probably not. But it's interesting. The problem is, without any way to, like, apply Pyrogel to enemies, the 1 damage it does per activation is not great, even with me having the secret ingredients to use. I kind of want to do Void Armament, but we're not going to, though it is a lot more playable since we have Volatile Gauge, so it's never going to be 3 costs, basically. Late Jank is better than no Jank, I guess. Yeah, which, A, good to see you, Fury. B, if you hear any audio issues, please let me know. I spent a while troubleshooting, and I think it's working, but it's hard for me to know. So far, so clear. Glad to hear it, because this has been driving me crazy since yesterday. And I want to die. I think we need to skip on Cursed Dragon Staff. I think it just doesn't do what I need it to do. Yeah, I really didn't want Incant Unstable. Had we seen Reanimator Orechi earlier, I definitely would have taken it. But here we are. I don't really want to do this, but I think just giving him the plus attack is worth it. I was kind of hoping that we would get Bogworm's Carapace or Growth, whatever it's called, from the Armory. I was looking for Large Stone, but honestly I'll take the Multi-Strike. And then I do want the Dualism, but I can't afford it. Yeah, well, here we are. God, I probably have to skip this as much as I don't want to. I really want the gold, and also feels wrong to skip on any trial ever. Fuck it. We're doing it. Is it the right choice? No, but it is what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna put you there, so we have one turn to buff you unimpeded. And then whatever, you go to waste. Okay, because that means that we can set up a mix. Not the right kind. I forgot that what I needed to do was... What I needed to do was do the first secret ingredient. So we had a better... So if I whiffed, I had another shot to get the right one before I fully bulked up. But it didn't work. God, enemies just have so much less life. Also, I know that there's no real point to do that. This guy was already exploding. There's no way we're going to get the kill out of him, but hey. So you have Titan Skin 5, and so this will be doing 14 times 2, so only 28. Yeah, which is just not enough. Not what I wanted to hit. God damn. Well, not what I wanted, but he's getting a kill at least. Although what I really wanted was him to die so I could give his equipment to the hothead. Well, wrong target, but fine. God, this is a clusterfuck. This is why I hate this challenge. Like, whatever. At least I got the collector. At least I did some things, but you know, it ain't going great. Yeah, this is a mess. Also meant to use a Orechi's ability, and I neglected to do so. Well, we can at least get a kill there, although I should have played out the rest of the fire starters if that was my plan. Um... Well, if I do this, there's a good chance that we get the kill, and if I whiff, we die. So let's not try. Got so close to a kill. But it's fine. We can stack a little bit of HP and whatever. But he heals back to full. We take some more damage. It's fine. That's life. Okay. So. Yeah, it's not the one I wanted it to hit, but okay. Yeah, so I was pretty sure that would work. It was a little bit of a risk because I can't undo in case I was wrong. But I was pretty confident that just moving him up front gave me enough turns for the meat hook to then beat them to death better. I could have also moved Kel up front, but I thought it was still best to be killing his frontliner, so we'd be taking less damage every round. So, like, it's working, kind of. I don't know, Reanimation Lab is kind of acceptable. Acid Shower is okay. It's not a bad card, and it is nice that it is only enemy units, so I don't have to worry about targeting. But we're gonna skip. I'm not gonna take the Soul Smelter. Alright. I think we're going for artifacts, honestly. Could have used this before. Pacemaker is definitely appealing. Part Factory is a maybe. I'm pretty confident I don't want rare drafts. Had I seen that earlier, we could have done something with it. But we'll take that now. And we'll skip on that. Though I do like Magma Cultist quite a bit. I don't think I need Tuning Fork because I already put a lot of effort into minus costing these already. Part Factory, I am also going to skip on. If we were at Higher Covenant, I would happily take the Magma Core because it would allow me to put Pyrogel on enemies via the Vengeful Shards. And I would honestly quite enjoy that. We're going to take this, even though it's a little weird. And then I'm going to thin some stuff out, though I probably should have just removed more cards. Because the fire starters are basically worthless for me. Like, they just are. But nonetheless, here we are. I guess we're just gonna play you out there this time. The problem with the statues is that they have a chance to be a legal target for my buffs, and that's just not great. But he's still got a little bit of stealth, and now he's got some rage, which is not enough rage, sadly. Yeah, I really wish I had been able to freely buff my hothead, but I didn't. Like, I can try here, but it's very liable to go wrong. I think we're just going to accept some damage. Okay, so I could get the Collector, but I think it's more responsible to kill that guy. Even though that means we're not getting the Collector now, which is sad. You get to blow up a bunch of enemies. And I'm willing to gamble on this. Okay, so you got the Reanimate. If it had gone to him, it wouldn't be great, but the Hothead still would have gotten to attack into him multiple times and get multiple Slay triggers, which would get him more stealth and attack from the Shadow Sheath. So it wasn't a total waste, even if that had happened. It just would not have been ideal either. Okay, and so you'll survive if I do this. So I'm willing to do this right now and keep you alive, I guess. And then just play that out. Although I should have played the Firestarter first, because it was guaranteed to hit this if I did that first. Anyways, this is why we got the trample equipment for him. It's just, I wish we could more reliably use it. There's just a lot of things that would be really nice. Okay, and now you're up to 197 times 2. In which case you should do a pretty good job against Quota. Okay. No need to get too fancy. We have the win here. There we go. This is a bit of a stressful challenge because it is just shenanigans. But, yeah, we'll take Minds of Their Own for sure. And I do want the Mind Cage, but the problem is that it's the Mind Cage or it's the Trample, not both. But, I mean, like, Mind Cage is good. It makes it so we can use this ability every turn, and I think that's better for me. Plus, I can combine it with something if I get to a Merchant of Arms, which there is one right here. And I also get to heal, which is not unwelcome, since I've been taking a bit of a beating. So I could do the Cursed Dragon Staff. I don't think that's the ideal. Nor do I think is it Swift Steel. I should probably take Zone of Silence, but whatever, fine, that's what we're doing. Zone of Silence was probably worth taking, but here we are. Either way, we're definitely getting rid of 2 fire starters, and I'm not convinced that Soul Smelter was what I wanted. I just wanted anything that gave him an attack bonus, was essentially what I was going for. Yeah, unfortunately, again, I didn't really want him on bottom floor, but I don't want to deal with Kale's shenanigans. I, once again, should have done this differently. But here we are. Alright, well, it unfortunately did not hit the target I had hoped for. I'm not surprised, though. I don't actually need to daze you yet. But on the other hand, there's not really any reason not to, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately... Well, we don't get corruption, guys, this time, which is the main thing I was trying to avoid. Okay, luckily the reanimate went on the right target. Wouldn't have been a big deal if it went on the Twisted Assistant. Wouldn't have been the worst thing if it went on Kale. Just not ideal. And I'm sorry, dude, we are going to get rid of you. Because I want to refresh my infusion. Okay, so that is going to go on Orechi, I guess. And then... So I guess let's see what infusion we get first. Okay, we're still gonna do it this way. And so he's the one who gets the corruption. I mean, this is going pretty well. This is why we set up what we did, and why we wanted the Mind Cage. Because being able to just blow up the floors every turn is great, and also feeds into his scaling. Since he now gets extra attack per kill. And it gets more stealth, so it kind of feeds into itself. Unfortunately, we are up against Dominion Seraph, which complicates matters a little bit. Just because, again, that will be generating corruption for us, which I don't really want to deal with. Also, I forgot to use the Red Shoes ability. Not the big deal. We're pretty fine, given that we've got 13 stealth and 4 reanimate, so... especially since we've avoided getting any corruption on him. Once again, forgot to use the Red Shoes ability. Oh well. Okay, just more damage shields. Mixing as much as we can. We do a lot of mixing now. Okay, so you don't get to attack. I guess we're still gonna do this. He does get corruption now. That's fine. We're just gonna give him the damage shields and all that. Do a little bit more damage to Kale. And then next turn, we have him murder Kale, and that's all that matters. He's got more than enough defense to carry him through, even with the corruption on him. Nonetheless, we'll do these just because we can. Alright. And yeah, we don't need to do anything else. Alright. a Hothead is working real good for us. Especially getting the Mind Cage was a huge turnaround. We also get a little bit of Dragon's Horde now. Tome of Contracts doesn't really matter. It's kind of cute, but it doesn't really do anything for us. I guess we're going draw now, even though that's a little unnecessary. Well, I like the Shale Shell. I think we're doing Sharpened Teeth, though, just because that translates into a lot of extra power for the Hothead. And I guess we'll do this. We don't have any rooms currently, and if we do get one, we just have to be mindful of which room we take. I thought about not doing it in case we wanted to get, like, Inferno Room, because then it would be actively bad for us to have that, but it's whatever. Yeah, we'll skip those. Yeah, would have used Reanimator earlier. We're not living that life now, though. What I really want is Holdover and Intrinsic. Yeah, okay. So, we are going to Intrinsic this. Hello, Edwin, how you doing? And we're holdovering this. And we're in pretty solid shape now. I will do this just for the sake of it. And remove that. Okay. Here we are. Living the dream, I can relate. Except, you know, with substantially more restrained dreaming occurring. Alright, so now we've reached the point where enemies have a lot of HP. So. Now, the problem is I would like to use the Spike of the League. Don't really want to hit you, though. Okay, I think we're just not using the Spike, and we're not using the Infusion, and there's a pretty decent chance that I end up taking some damage on the Pyre. That's fine. Yeah. Because... Oh, had I done that differently... Well, we can still get a kill on you right there, which then means that I'm free to dump the Infusion in, which will take care of all of my scaling needs. I jump up from 58 to 130 damage. Okay. And I should still be able to kill this guy because Orechi has reasonably good stats here. Especially for Covenant 0, like, it does a fairly high amount. Not the one I wanted, sadly. Well, enjoy. You're now unstable. Oh well, these things happen. Okay, we're just gonna do this, give you some reanimate and a little bit more rage. As one does. Ta-da! Again, not what I need. Which is unfortunate because it wastes my extra extra mix. Again, not the one I want, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter. I'm pretty confident at this point we have enough, especially for being on Covenant 0. Like, you know, dude attacks for a lot. And I've got the Minds of their own. Also keep forgetting to use your ability. Okay. God, yeah, we just get a lot of mixing. And it's easy to underestimate or undervalue, like, how good mix is. But it's pretty strong. Like, it builds up to a pretty hefty value. Okay, and then one more turn. I don't really need to be doing this, but just for my own sake, I guess we'll just do a green potion here. Because, so be it. We're gonna do that. And that's all I can do. Fair enough. Oh, I forgot to actually use the thing. My bad. I knew there was a step I was missing. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We got the kill here. Oh no, she's getting spikes. However, shall we manage? Yeah. And then our glorious hothead triumphs. Yeah, this turned that around quite a bit once we got the hothead. Now, do I want Reanimation Lab? I kind of want Reanimation Lab, just because it's more stats. But I'd have to go to the Merchant of Arms to make it deployable, which is the only way it would be useful. I'm pretty okay with just going here. And I'll loot that. 4 is good enough. So the Ember Charge is kind of appealing since I have the intrinsic Spike of the League. But I could also just take Shale Shell. I think we just want Ember Charge. Shale Shell's cool, but it's not gonna do me a ton. Don't really want sketches. I might want Jackstrips. I was gonna set up my hothead on bottom floor, but then he's vulnerable to corruption. Okay, let's do some things. So, I have how much for draw per turn? 8. And so if I'm playing things out during deployment, I'd be playing out at least the Hothead, the Meat Hook, the Merged Equipment, and Orechi, probably. And so I'm probably down to like 13. So let's get rid of these. Yeah, I'm just not gonna worry about those. Because I do still want the Hothead to be able to kill things. So, let's remove more things and just make my deck a little more consistent. And I guess we're doing this, which is what I was originally going to do, and then I doubted it, and I still think that's correct. I'm just going to have to deal with the corruption going on the Hothead is the main thing, but I think I'll be able to manage that. Yeah, we'll do that. It'd be better if I had gotten dualism on the meat hook, but I didn't, so it is what it is. He at least won't be able to double corruption on strike, because we're going to be stealthed, or on top floor he's going to always be dazed whenever he's there. But, so be it. Okay, so, first off, you get dazed. You are getting some corruption, but murder everything. But then that also means that we can... Well, that's not ideal, no, is it? Well, not the one we wanted, but fair enough. Fair enough. I had been hoping for others, but that's okay. Had an ultrasound on my hand today, followed by an injection. It was cool until the needle part. Well, fair enough. I hope all went well. Also, glad to see you. Anyways, we're giving him just 8 reanimate rather than doing more mixing. It did. Glad to hear it. I don't mind needles too much, but what I really do mind is inside parts being on the outside. Not a big fan. Do not handle that very well. Found it recently that my brother is the same way, which I did not know, and surprised me a little bit, but I don't like needles being shoved in me. Yeah, I know some people like that. Like, the person I live with is the same way. And describes as being harpooned. Well, sorry, Meat Hook. I just really wanted to be able to mix for other things. Is that so wrong? Just wanted to get some more reanimate. It does mean that Arechi is now vulnerable to this nonsense, but like that's not a big deal. And mostly I just need to worry about keeping the hothead alive anyways. I had hoped to have gotten... yeah, I'd have to get you a lot of regen to offset the corruption. Like, I could do some of that, but here we are. Alright, I'm going to just give you 6 more reanimate now. And this is why we have so many minds of their own. So we still get to keep beating on Seraph. God, stop giving me your garbage. Sorry, Arechi. I just want red. Is that so much to ask? I just want to supercharge my dude. And they just will not cooperate. Like, the green was still helpful, don't get me wrong, but, like, I just really wanted to be able to actually do my thing. Just give you as much rage as we can. Like, the other things are useful too, but the rage is really what we want. Yeah, I don't really need to be playing out the Minds of Their Own every turn, since my deck is small enough that I draw them again anyways. I probably should have just played this last turn, kind of spaced out on that, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter. We got enough reanimate. We have stealth for eternity, and we're just kind of killing him. That's just what we do. So as long as we're able to wipe the floor each turn, I mean, we just kind of need to, but as long as we do it, then we are free to use our infusion, which is what we care about. Okay. And there we go. Ta-da! It was a run. And we got there. Got there in the end. Ugh. All right. Well, that one was a bit stressful and annoying. I really dislike not having control over my deck. We made it work, and it ended up actually being a pretty... that is not the right thing, because apparently I don't have Numlock engaged. There we go. There we are. Anyways, it ended up being sort of interesting, since we had to work around clearing floors so we could use the infusion. So, like, that Portal Grant was fun, but the rest of it, mostly just annoying. Okay. Essential Magic. Sling cost-effective spells to defeat your foes since your troops are taking a break. Unsurprisingly, Luna leads the pack, and Pyreborn is the secondary. Pyreborn is not explicitly a spell-slinging clan, of course, but they do have a lot of, like, damage spells and, like, spell support. Starry Suffering. Friendly units enter with Daze 2. Not that bad. Especially because being dazed does not prevent you from using abilities, unless I'm wildly mistaken. Cheap Trick, spells cost -1, and start with the Light Stone Casing. Sure, I mean, mostly pretty heavily in our favor. Now, Greed Dragon is not particularly what I wanted to see, but the rest of this is pretty okay. And Bloody Moon is sort of interesting, and that is immediately Ember positive for us. I mean, we're definitely taking Wing Steel, like, without question. Yeah, we want Incant Conduit, for sure. Okay, well, I'd considered setting up on bottom floor, but not with Mark of Invasion going, so... we don't have any way to buff... We don't have any way to generate Dragon Sword, so there's no reason to hold off on using the Greed Dragon. Incant Ekka, best Ekka. I mean, she's good. In the right deck, at least. Alright, time to take some damage at the cost of sinning. Because my units are still dazed, so I don't get to attack, so I just have to take that damage. Could have killed one extra of them, of course, if I had been willing, but I wanted the Collector, so... Okay, so that's already enough for the kill. Yes, I'm a simp, so what? Fair enough. It is nice to be able to actually target my spells again. Also, again, at like low Covenant, with enemies having dramatically lower HP, the Conduit is immediately doing a much higher value for us. Like, it's good in general, especially when we don't need to worry about our Ember costs, and we start with extra draw off Wing Steel. Like, it's good. Like, we're in real good shape already. Okay, we're taking Celestial Storm. Like, yeah, that's what we're doing. I would love to see something like a Moon Priestess, though, to give us phase control. Could take Golden Touch. I might take Golden Touch. And by that I mean, I'll take Golden Touch. Yeah, I'm gonna go here, just because if we get Moon Priestess, that's huge for me. We did not get Moon Priestess. Whatever, it's like a Silent Sentinel. If I had more, I would do the -2 and remove Consume on the Celestial Storm. But what I'm mostly concerned about is hitting Holdover, and so I'm just going to reroll, looking for that. And then we're just going to minus cost it, if I can. So, there we go. And now we're in great shape. Absolutely great shape. Okay. And then we'll do a little bit of incanting up here, just for the sake of it. I forgot that you have extra attack now, since up until like a patch ago, you had 0 attack. But it's good for him to have some attack, so that when he is your starting banner unit, he's, you know, not worthless. Okay, I could be killing some of these guys, but we're just trying to get our conduit up a little bit, so then we can do some delicious spell slinging action. I will kill you and get my Ember back. Can't play you out there, sadly. Yeah, whatever, we'll do that now. I actually shouldn't have done that, but that's fine. Yeah, unfortunately, it's attuned now when it doesn't matter. Because I don't have any magic power on this floor, and it's not attuned on this turn, which is, again, why I wanted to get Moon Priestess, just because it helps a ton being able to control that. But we're working on it. I don't need another Celestial Storm. No, we'll just skip that. I will take... I might take the Flicker. I was going to take the Golden Touch, but honestly... I'll just take the Flicker. And then we're not going to loot that. If we're 4, I would loot it, but it's not. So there are some like nice things I can get here. Or I can go here and look for like holdover on the Golden Touch or the Flicker. Or I can look for like Magma Cultist as well. So here we are. Okay, we'll just take the gold. I was hoping for Intrinsic there, or Holdover. Well, I do wish that I had 0 cost this now. I might not do that. I might just do the Golden Touch. I think we're going to greed and go for the Golden Touch. Yeah. I think the other option is better, but mostly it's not going to matter. I do actually want to get rid of one of the Shield Stewards. And we'll leave that for the moment. And go from there. Oh no, it's Pyre Hunter. However shall we handle it? The dragon says greed is good, it's in his name. It's true. I guess I'll play it right now. I thought about waiting till we had more Horde. Because I'm definitely going to have more Horde. But we don't need to worry about that. I'll just play you there and let you kill him with your entire turn. As one does. Okay, we're gonna greed and do that. Oh, it's not quite enough to kill you. Well, bit of waste then. But you should still survive, and that's mostly what matters. And that's a definite kill right there. Okay, well, we're still doing okay. I was hoping to draw another of the Golden Touches so that we could kill the guy who had escaped. But that did not work. And in the meanwhile, we just build up our conduit. Well, enjoy some Pyre Gel, my dude. Okay, well, we got up to 7. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't get to 8, but the difference between 7 and 8 isn't that big. And if I really want to, I maybe could have fucked around a bit, but that's okay. Do I actually want Cursed Dragon Staff? Kind of? Kind of no? Excuse me. Again, it's much better when you're actually generating, like, Pyre Gel. And I already have the sweeping spell with Attuned. Well, potentially with Attuned. I don't know. I don't think we need it. As much as I really do like it, I think now is not the time. The problem is that there's still a slim possibility that we're offering a Magma Cultist. And if we're offering the Magma Cultist, it immediately looks a lot better. I don't know. I'm going to greed. I'm going to take it. Didn't get a Magma Cultist. Didn't get what I wanted. That's fine. Capacity is kind of cute, but we're going to take draw. And we're definitely going to loot this. Well, Flaming Talons is good, and Volatile Gauge is no. It could be good here still, maybe, but it's just a little too disruptive to my desires. Okay, so I'm definitely smidge stoning something. I kind of want to smidge stone this Silent Sentinel, but I could also, like, I get much better value out of doing it on the Greed Dragon. But that is presupposing that I need to care about the Greed Dragon. Whereas what I think I might do is just smidge stone him and then dupe him, so I can have multiple Silent Sentinels on the floor. That seems unnecessary, though. But here we are. So I could either Titanite, or I can look for Dualism. Alright, let's Greed. I'm good enough with that. It's not what I wanted, but it's what we got. Okay. I'm gonna do this. I really shouldn't. It doesn't... It's just not the right choice, but we're doing it anyways. Who am I to decline such a feat? Okay. It's fine. Who cares if they heal? So, I am going to set up on top floor, and I'm not going to play you out, although it's fine if I did. But we're setting them on top floor so you have time to build up some Pyre Gel. And so I have a little bit of time to build up in camps. I should have shot the backliner. It's fine. Not a big deal. I am indeed getting a little carried away, but my Silent Sentinels can heal themselves, so, like, it's not a big deal. Oh, we're already up to a pretty substantial level. I'm gonna summon you now, I guess, so you can do some work on Ajax in a little bit. Alright, and now we're up to max Horde, because that's just what we do. Still haven't used the Silent Sentinel's ability ever. But, like, why would we need to? Where's the fun in that? Seeing big spell numbers makes me happy. Fair enough. Yeah, again, the problem is without any phase control, I am not on full moon on top floor, which is fine. It's my own choice to be on top floor. I could definitely be doing this just fine on, like, mid floor. But it does make the Celestial Storm dramatically weaker. And you're dead. Okay, well, we're doing good work. Cursed Dragon Staff, not doing a ton for me, but that's fine. Alright. I mean, I think we're just taking the one Moonrise just so that it will swap. Well, It'll only swap if we draw it during the right turn. Nonetheless, I'll still take it. It's fine. And Mind Cage is unnecessary, but fine to take. Sure. Doesn't really matter because we do so little attacking, but I'll still take it. I don't think the Merchant of Arms matters for us, really. So we're not going to worry about that. I'm going to Permafrost this just so I can have phase control. Why not? I've got the money for it. I mean, none of this really matters. Like, who really cares? What are the rules of this challenge? Give me one moment and I will elaborate. Yeah, most of my deck is inconsequential. I guess we'll get rid of one of those. So for this one, friendly units enter with Daze 2, so they can't attack or use resolve abilities. Spells cost -1, and we start with the Lightstone Casing, which is the artifact that gives spells an extra upgrade slot. So we are heavily incentivized to be spell heavy. I'll get rid of one of these. I don't really need the golden touches. I don't need to be hitting max horde every fight. I could just make a second Mind Cage. But I'll make a second one of these, I guess. Although I still didn't zero cost it, but not a big deal. Poor guy's getting a fair bit of corruption, but alas. Oh, we'll just build up our conduit, and he'll take a fair chunk of corruption damage, sadly. We'll just explode them, I guess. Even though I do miss out on one incant. And my dudes don't get to generate any avarice for me. But that's fine. We can handle that. I wasn't really expecting it to do any meaningful work for me, so... Whoops. Well, we'll kill these ones down here. Although I'm at max horde now, so I don't need to worry anymore. Okay, you do have a fair bit of reanimate, which is going to be an issue. I did kind of neglect the fact that it's him that I'm up against. Which actually is maybe a problem. Oh yeah, I don't have capacity to play you out. Well, that's only half true. Oh, and I do have the Dragon Staff, which I totally spaced out on, which does make this way easier, because as long as I can get him down to 1 HP, then we can cut through his reanimate much faster. Also forgot that this is low covenant, so he's not actually gaining more reanimate, so it's not nearly as dangerous. I was expecting him to have 20 reanimate when he only has like 6 or whatever. Or maybe 8. Yeah, I mean, we maybe want that Heavenfall. Although, again, without phase control, it's a lot worse. I think I'm just not going to worry about it. Silver Ink is good, but we already sort of have the attuned taken care of. I really don't need this, but I'm going to take it anyways. I don't know. Sure. Get some extra conduit. We'll take Split Anvil, even though it doesn't really matter. How you taking the Heavenfall? That would have been useful, but I didn't. Do I want to dupe anything? Like, I could dupe the Celestial Storm again. That seems reasonable. I could also dupe the Silent Sentinel another time. Or I can just go here. Though I don't know that there are any artifacts I, like, really want. Moonrise for phase control. I was also considering that. I have vague hopes of, like, seeing Remove, Consume, and Holdover, and then being able to do that, but the chances that that happens are low. I think I'm just going to go here, though. I don't really know what I'd be hoping to see. And that does smack of a good reason to not do it. Maybe I don't want to do that. It's just I feel like I get so little value for going over here. I mean, I could, like, buff up the Greed Dragon that I haven't not been using at all. But I could do that. I don't think I need to, though. Whatever. We're just gonna go here. It doesn't really matter. Sure. Enjoy. We don't need Ancient Fire Tap. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Here we are. Is Heavenfall damage based on the conduit per floor, or is it on the floor it's cast on? It's the floor it's cast on. Well, these don't really matter because I can't give anything to the Silent Sentinel. I'll do it to the Greed Dragon, I guess, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not using him. So you just clear everything. Nice. Yeah. It's very good. Particularly with, like, Incant Akka. The damage shield is a little annoying, but that just means we're going to set up on bottom floor. And you're going to go there, you'll get attacked by Kale, that's fine, you'll be able to handle that, I guess. I didn't know that that was the interaction. I guess while he's dazed, it does cancel his attack, even from the Wrath ability. I didn't think that would happen, but good to know. Okay, bit clumsy, and we didn't let Fanning the Flame get the kill, but oh well. And I don't have enough Ember. Yeah, whatever. We'll do that. The problem is that I'm likely going to finish the fight before I do full Dragon Sword, which is, you know, not that big a deal, but it's a little depressing. Yeah, we already do large heaping gobs of damage. I should have done this after playing the first one, but it's not a big difference in damage. Well, I was hoping to draw more golden touch there, but it's okay. Yep, and we're at 8 anyways. It's all good. Everything's fine. And then Kale's dead. Yeah, turns out we do a lot of damage, and there's a little they can do to stop us. Don't really need, but it is kind of cute. We're not going to worry about it, though. We'll just take the Ember so I don't have to run into problems ever again. The draw was still probably the right choice, but... I know I have not asked you anything about League in a bit. How do you like Fearless draft style? I like it a lot. I have not been keeping up with Pro Play recently, just because I've had a lot of other things going on in my life. Also been watching a lot of, or playing a lot of Blueprints instead of watching things. But yeah, I like it a lot. One of my big complaints about watching Pro Play, particularly, like, it differs a little year to year how much League I watch, but every year the big thing is I always watch Worlds, and I watch a lot of Worlds. I used to watch basically every game of Worlds, because I would just put it on when I got home from work, and just, like, leave it on in my living room while I cooked and did whatever. But, like, a pretty consistent problem of Worlds and, like, any other tournament, but particularly Worlds because it goes on for so long and there's so many, like, teams involved, is, like, you know, a meta evolves and you end up seeing basically the same champions in most games. It changes a little bit, like, week to week, especially if teams have, like, picks they've been saving to show off to later in the tournament, but, you know, it's pretty disappointing when it would be like, oh, which team takes the Nidalee and which team takes the Elise. You like, you know it's going to be those two junglers in every game. It's just a matter of which team takes which one. So, like, I really appreciate that Fearless gets more champions into the pool. Like, obviously there are other considerations that go into it as well. Like, players have to be able to play more different champions and all that. But overall, I'm pretty happy with Fearless. Yeah, it's a shame since there are 150 heroes and only 20 or so get used. What is Fearless Draft? I missed this. So, Fearless Draft is something they implemented this year for Pro Play, where in any match that is best of 3 or best of 5, champions that are used in one game cannot be used in the subsequent games. So if Xayah gets used in game 1 on either team, she cannot be used in game 2 or 3. So it just forces there to be way more picks, and there's a lot more that goes into it. Because, like, you know, you might want to, like, ensure that you get Xayah in game 1, but if your opponents see that you're picking Xayah, then, like, you know, they can take things that, like, there's just a lot of extra considerations around when champions get picked and, like, who they get picked with and all that sort of thing. And I think it's just, it leads to a lot more variety, and it's really cool. You can gracefully decide to take a trash team if you see opponents use their A game just to get champions out of the roster. Yeah, sort of. That's sort of what I mean. Like, obviously they're not going to, like, try to lose a game necessarily. But, yeah, like, if you know that you're in a bad position, and you're going to probably get, you know, first pick next game, like, yeah, you can try to set yourself up for a better, you know, next game, yada, yada, yada. But is it only one champ at a time, or so both teams can take, for example, Elise or something in different games? No. If Elise gets used by either team in any game, then she's out of the pool. Meta decking is the curse of all TCGs in competitive esports. Yeah, like, it exists for good reason, and, like, it's never going to go away, but, like, that is why I don't like playing, for instance, MTG Arena. As much as I love playing Magic, one of the things about Magic I love most is I love seeing, like, creativity, and I like seeing people have, like, you know, decks that express their personality and their desires and, like, showing off something fun and interesting. And I really don't like seeing the same deck every single game after game after game after game after game, because it's the strongest thing, and obviously people who are playing on ladder are going to be playing the strongest thing, basically. So, that's why I only play limited. That's why I play limited on MTG Arena. Like, limited is a ton of fun. Fuck it, we're doing this. Well, holdover goes here, I guess, because I can't do remove consume like I'd hoped for. I mean, none of this super matters. We're pretty solid already. Definitely leads to some interesting team comps and pulls out a good amount of counterplay that is not seen often, such as top lane AD Nidalee being a good snowball champ. Yeah, like, we're also seeing things like top lane Nico and other things, yada yada yada. But yeah, I think it's great. It's something I've been wanting for a long time, and so it pleases me immensely for it to be implemented. Okay, whatever. We're just setting up bottom floor. Although Rax is maybe a problem for us. We're actually going to hold off on playing the Green Dragon just in case I need it. I doubt I will. But just in case. There we go. And then you do survive, because I just don't quite have enough spellcasting to kill you. I could have if I had played differently, but oh well, so be it. There we go. That and the restrictions on lane swapping making it not as impactful, that has definitely made things seem healthier. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, that was badly needed, and it's very appreciated that... Because, like, I don't mind seeing lane swapping occasionally. I think it's cool for it to be an option, but, like, it's so annoying and boring when it is the... Like, when you see it literally every game. Like, that is definitely not what I want out of the game. Okay, and then that's guaranteed to hit. Okay. I could have done this better, but that's fine. It doesn't matter, probably. Well, I don't really want to kill my own guys for the golden touch, so it is what it is. I was like, why is your HP decreasing when you have the spell shield? But it's because of the Dragon Staff. Okay, so... well... I will kill him with that because he gets the Slay bonus. We didn't hit 8 Horde, but again, 6 Horde is pretty good. We don't need the Lunacy. Hexcalation is worth taking. Fuck it. We're taking Hexcalation. Even if I normally don't give a shit about it. Way too late to matter. Doesn't matter. We have like 1 consume. Well, we have like 3 consume cards, but just not important to our needs. Okay, so, how much do I care? I think we're going to the left here. Doesn't matter. Fine. Barely matters. I was hoping for slightly different things. I was hoping to get not Lightstone Casing, Pyrestone Casing, so that I could get Dualism on like a Silent Sentinel and then dupe him, and that would have been cute. But here we are. I could purge a bunch of cards. It doesn't matter. We've got this. We've already won this. It's just a matter of how quickly we win. Which is partly why I took the Hexcalation. So, we'll just go ahead and set up right here. And we'll play the Greed Dragon out, and he'll die, whatever, that's fine, who cares. Okay. So, look you go. Alright, it's not going to be nearly as impressive as I want it to be, but it was still 1,000 damage. Which is not bad. In the ideal world, we would have drawn the thing like this turn. But we didn't, and that's fine. And yes, I know I'm not doing any damage, but I still felt it best to do that. And just build up some conduit here. It's like, it's a lot of conduit. Okay, still not dead, but we're getting there. Interesting that Daze doesn't stop abilities. Yeah, it makes sense to me, because they're very clear about what Daze does and does not stop. But, like, if this were a different game, then yeah, it would make sense for me for the Daze to stop active abilities. But, like, Mute already does that, and Silence, so it's not like we're lacking a status effect to do that. Okay. We definitely have to kill this turn. If I wanted to, I could have even done this differently. And we'll just hit you for another 1,800 damage. And thus, the victory is acquired. Yeah. pretty simple run. I didn't play it particularly fast, but it was, you know, not difficult. It would have been nice if we'd gotten certain different other units, like we'd gotten Moon Priestess and Magma Cultist. But like the Silent Sentinels worked out just fine for us. And we got a ton of things that worked quite well for our needs. So, we've now done 14 of 21, I believe. Yeah, because it should just be the 7 that we need to do left. Alright, which I think all of these ones are Monster Train 1 clans. So, trigger happy. It's been a while since I played any of the Monster Train 1 clans in Monster Train 2. I still really want them to get reworked substantially, though. But, here we are. More triggers, more statuses, but more shields to get through. So, Hellhorn Awoken. Highly reactive, triggers on friendly units activate an additional time. Duality, double stacks of all status effects, which includes things like Multi-Strike. And shields up, enemy units enter with damage shield. Okay, let's see what we get. Yeah, that's a lot of armor. That's a decent amount of spikes. I still don't think he should have trample, but okay. I mean, first of all, Ember Staff would be much better at higher Covenant. But I'll just take Golden Idol. Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to take Brawler. I did get humbled by the last 2 challenges on this side, the topmost and the bottommost ones. Gotcha. I was told that cheat and repeat is difficult, which is clearly one of the ones on this side, but I don't know anything specifically about this side other than that. Yeah, I mean, we'll just play you down here, because you basically murder all on your own. I don't have any way to buff you, though. Oh, you have 2 damage shield. I did forget that it was going to be 2 damage shield, because they get double triggers, which is annoying, but fine. That is weird, seeing the Monster Train 1 cards again. Well, I could have played this better and not taken fire damage here. But, it's fine. Sometimes you take fire damage. It's not a big deal. And thus he tramples his way to victory. And the Imp is the one who gets the kill. I mean, we're taking the Ritual Battle. Hidden Passage, also very good, but we're taking Ritual Battle for sure. Kill stealing even in this game. It's true. Yeah, we'll just skip that. Okay, I was gonna say something. Don't remember what it was. That's okay. Yeah, don't remember what it was. It was probably gonna be me complaining about not having unit fusing in this game. Like, I don't think Monster Train 2 as a whole needs unit fusing, even though I really love the mechanic. But, you know, I've spent so many hours playing Monster Train 1 with the DLC, and it definitely feels bad not having the ability to fuse certain things in Monster Train 2. Like, not being able to fuse Fledgling Imp, with Welder Helper, not being able to put Draff into Bounty Stalker, yada yada yada. Yada yada yada. Or Draff into Paraffin Enforcer. Or things like that. They're still, you know, reasonable clans, but they lose a lot of nuance when you can't do that. And a lot of power, too. Anyways, stalling aside, I think we're going here. Though I do really want to do like holdover and minus cost on the ritual battle. I kind of want to do intrinsic on the sharpen because the spikes are helpful to get rid of some of their damage shields. I know the feeling I so wanted to fuse Paraffin Enforcer. Yeah, for sure. Like, Remnant... Well, I was going to say just Remnant, but, like, several of the clans really do suffer from the lack of infusions. But, like, Remnant in particular suffers quite a bit. Wormkin would suffer if they come back, which I assume they will at some point. And, like, Hellhorn suffers a decent amount, but not quite as badly. Mostly they suffer in not being able to fuse imps. Anyways, going here, I'd be looking for Multi-Strike, or, more importantly, Smidgestone or Endless. And here, I basically just want to make the Ritual Battle playable. I guess we're going here. And it is Multi-Strike too, which is worth noting. I'm not going to take the Animus. I don't really need that. Thorn Hollow is kind of cute, but nope. I think I'm just going to give you spikes by default. I'm going to do that even though it's a little questionable. I mean, that's basically what I needed. The -1 Ember does hurt me, but whatever. We're probably gonna... Oh my god, it hurts me way more than I thought. Well, that was a choice that I made. Alright, we're gonna take a lot of damage. Gonna take a lot of damage. Alright, have a nice weekend as well, Fury. Alright, well, I put myself in a bad position, but we can still make do to some degree. Okay, and then we take a lot of damage. Okay, I didn't really want to do this, but I did really want the spikes on my front, dude. Yeah, unfortunately, I take so much damage from this. There we go. I could have also played out the Spirit Steward by killing my imp, which would have been quite useful. Luckily, not necessary, and also I could have just rewound if I needed to. Anyways, I took a lot of damage on this fight, but that's okay. Also, I get double the gold, so it's kind of worth it. It takes fucking forever, because he gains armor every turn, and I'm just barely chipping away at him. They've got so much armor that he also can't compete. God. What a messy fight. We do not need another Welder Helper. Honestly, Inflame is okay, but it's not what I'm taking. And Molting Imp is, again, actually fairly decent for me. I am going to skip it, but since it triggers twice, it's able to get rid of... it's able to get rid of the damage shields much better. I'm going to go here for a number of reasons. Like, honestly, I kind of want that. Stoic Plate Mail is also sort of decent to my needs. Yeah. Sure, fine. I thought about doing the -4, but I'll do triple stack on that. Yeah, so I kind of do want Steward Quarters, but I didn't leave myself enough to make it deployable. Yeah, that's fine. That's what we're doing. Though I, again, kind of did mess myself up. It's fine. Knockback shouldn't be too bad at the moment. We are going to put you down there. You're going to go there. Whatever. So be it. Okay, that way we can kill you. We'll give you a little bit of regen. And pump some damage into Archeon. Can't afford that. We'll just give you a ton of armor, though I did really want to play out the Welder Helper, and it was maybe a mistake not to, but like the Demon Fiend is very strong for us at the moment, so... Alright, we're gonna greed and we're gonna do this instead of doing other things. Like, it's probably more valuable for me to keep the Train Stewards alive, but I didn't do it. Again, I'm getting a little greedy because I am taking a lot of damage, but it's okay. Sadly, I can't do the Ritual Battle here, but it doesn't matter because we kill Archeon. Like, turns out. Sounds like there's a reason that I gave Prince a lot of damage and a lot of attacks. No. Though the channel song is okay, but nope. We are not doing Steel Singer here. Well, I was just going to put the Demon Fiend with Prince. But I could do the Steelworker now. Do I want to? That's a maybe. I think the answer is no. And we definitely want Ember. Like, we want a lot of things, but Ember in particular is quite valuable to us. And we're going here. Okay, let's make that more playable. Sadly, I can't also double stack the Ritual Battle, but I will minus cost it. And whatever, I'll do that, even though I should probably just use that elsewhere. Brawler 2 it is, so now we're up to a basic 5 attacks. I will skip these again. We really don't need the restores, even with doubled stats or buffs. They are not good. Well, unfortunately, the Minus Ember hurts, but it's at least doable. You go there, and then you go there. Oh, there's that. I was hoping to get the Steward's Quarters so that I could get the extra capacity to be able to play out the Welder Helper, but that's okay. Turns out it doesn't matter a ton. There we go, so now you're dead, and now you get the plate. And we'll just play you out. You can have more spikes, you can have some capacity, you can have some healing. The Stewards would actually be pretty strong if they were using them in the Steward's Quarters, since they get double multi-strike just for existing, which is, you know, pretty strong. Alright, Corrin tries to bully us. It doesn't really matter. They got nothing on us. Especially when Prince is hitting for 284 5 times. Makes pretty short work of enemies, especially on Low Covenant. Battering Ram is cute, but not amazing. Important Work is good. Especially if I can get my deck better sorted. Where we're going here. I really don't need Bloodthirsty Blade. So we're not going to. Well, I guess we're spell chaining that. I could intrinsic the sharpen. You know what, I'll do it. It doesn't, like, super matter, but it's a thing. Also, like, it does help thin my deck out, since intrinsic works differently in this game. I don't know why it works differently, but it does. But intrinsic cards are extra cards in your first hand, not just cards that are guaranteed to be in your first hand. Which is a weird change, but a change nonetheless. Alright, can I survive turn 1 with Prince? I think the answer is yes, because I think you'll kill it. Except... There we go. Okay. Because I was worried that Prince was going to die attacking into the spikes, but by getting rid of 1 damage shield, then we're able to do it. Although I am letting these guys survive, which is actually really bad for me. Because they have damage shields and several stacks of reanimate, which is bad. And this guy is getting a little stronger with Harvest. And so I'm going to take a bunch of damage, and that's just how it's going to be, I guess. Well, so be it. I'm going to take damage, but I should survive it. Ugh. Yep. It hurt real bad, but I'm alive. Okay. We're going to kill you. We're going to do that. We're going to heal there, even though I stopped myself. Yeah, the copious stacks of reanimate with the giant stacks of damage shield as well are real bad. And then you have 16 reanimate. Luckily, doesn't fucking matter to me. Okay. We are more than sufficient, but again, this was another fight where I took a lot of damage, and that is fairly dangerous. We're getting close to it not being a problem, but we're not there yet. Honestly, I should maybe take the ensnare, but we're not going to. We are going to do that. I had Dante at this point of this challenge, I think. That would be pretty silly. Yeah, we're gonna go here, even though healing would have been nice. It is weird only having access to the neutral pool, but it is what it is. The challenge for him up to that 39 attacks I mentioned the other day. Gotcha. Yeah, no surprise. Turns out, guy who gets a bunch of multi-strike, getting double multi-strike, it does some work. Yeah, you know, it didn't occur to me that I actually would have had enough Ember for a deployable void armaments as well if I take Ember here. It's a moot point because I couldn't give deployable to both of them in the same shop, but it is interesting to consider nonetheless. Alright, may as well get rid of your damage shield. And after this, Prince is going to have a whole lot of attacks. Unfortunately, I can't do the Stoic Plate Mail, and I don't have the Welder Helper yet. But there is a Welder Helper, which helps. There's that, which is a whole lot of damage. Okay. And we play that out so that it doesn't ruin all of our spells. We are in good shape. We'll kill him just for good measure instead of playing out the Steward. But, like, we do enough damage. We have enough attacks. We're just truly the greatest of all time. Yeah, I actually probably could have killed Kale had I gotten rid of more of the damage shields, but it didn't occur to me until it was too late. I was probably still one attack short, but who knows? Oh, you did actually survive. It doesn't matter because we are going to get the kill here. See? That's all we need to do is get rid of one damage shield. And there we are. Look at us thrive. Don't need the quick, don't need Impelate, don't need Spike the Hellhorned. We're just gonna take more Ember, although draw would also be appealing. Okay. I think we're going to the Merchant of Arms. Greedy though it may be. Alternatively, I can like heal here and then go to the Merchant of Arms. But that's fine. We'll just do this. Yeah, I know. Hi, Cat. How you doing? Alright, just a casual 9 attacks. I almost accidentally bought another of those. could buy another one of those. Let us remove more things. So, I have 8 deployment ember. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can keep a 1 shield steward comfortably. And then let's just thin other things out of my deck. And there we go. Well, I don't love this, but fine. We should still be okay, unless we draw very poorly. Which is possible. Don't get me wrong. Well, doesn't really matter. Like, we can shoot them all we want, it doesn't change anything. Okay, let's just give you a bunch of armor like you deserve. Honestly, probably shouldn't have done the sharpen because they just hit for more damage now, but that's okay. Yeah, I didn't really do that. It's probably better to kill these guys and or use the ritual battle. But here we are. Oh, fuck you. Because, like, I can use the important work, but it doesn't matter as long as the collector, or as the herald is here. Because I can't get my summon trigger, so I can't generate the armor. I suppose I could have still shot him, though. That would have been the right choice. So I can do it on this turn more easily. But that's okay. We do that, it increases their attack. Doesn't matter. It means that we can play him next turn more easily. And Prince is just sitting at 582 times 11. I think we'll manage. Ta-da! Alright, so we knock off some damage shields. Rax tries his best. Prince then makes mincemeat of him. As is his job. I will, I guess, take another... I feel like, honestly, I should skip it, just because if I draw it before I have the imp, it does absolutely nothing for me. Which is not particularly helpful. I'm just going to go here and heal, just in case I need it. Does not help. Although I could get a room. I don't super care. Yeah. If this were a different world, I would care, but I don't. I mean, I guess we'll take Root Split Mask. These things don't really affect us at this point. We're just going to reduce the number of torches that we have because it's useful for us to do so. Like, the torches are still decent, but comparatively, they're just not nearly as good as anything else I could be drawing, basically. Okay, look at us go. Alright. So we're staying on top floor because there's nothing lower that's really pressuring us to be on a lower floor. And this way we have a little bit of time to build up. Unhelpful to draw. But yeah, we can build up a little bit, and if Entropy cooperates, we'll just beat him to death. And, you know, have a good time. It is going to strengthen them, but I'm just going to knock off a damage shield. I know I could have killed the imp, but I would actually rather just draw into, like, the Ritual of Battle. That did actually not increase how much damage I was doing. I should have considered that better. Oh well, we're still doing, like, 1100 damage to him. Well, there's not any reason doing the important work while this stupid Herald is on the field, so we'll just chill out and wait for turns that matter. Oh no, we got a little bit of sap. I mean, like, it is a non-trivial amount of sap since the sap is also doubled. It's just that I have 652 attack. And so 8 sap is not really going to affect me. Like, yeah, I do make them stronger, but I also give 80 armor every time I play my imp. So I think we come out ahead. Oh, you have no attack now. I mean, it doesn't matter. I could give you attack, and I've chosen not to. Because if I gave him attack, then he could get through some of the damage shields before Prince has to. Doesn't matter. Prince has it covered with his 11 attacks. Alright. Not difficult. We barely had any artifacts, but so be it. Yeah, and I still have not even unlocked most of the things with Hellhorn or any of the other Monster Train 1 clans yet. That's fine. So be it. Anyways, that one had a couple dodgy battles that we just took a huge chunk of damage on, but mostly was not too bad. Alright, time bombs! All enemies explode with deadly force. Don't let them make it to the pyre room. So, explosive personality. When enemy units die, they deal 5 damage to the front friendly unit. So they're all Wilt Wings. Gotcha. Cure light wounds. Restore 5 health to all units after combat. I assume that is allies and enemies. And return on investment. Spawn an additional collector in battles that already have a collector. Okay. Fair enough. And we start with Reform. It's gonna be weird not having to deal with damage shields anymore. I will take Wanderer's Talisman, I guess. Yeah, so I think I'm taking Monstrous is the deal. Mostly just I want that trample. We'll see what happens. You can go there. You can go there. I can't really play things out elsewhere. And yes, this is not enough to get the kill, but so be it. May as well daze you. Okay. I was really hoping to get you, which actually I can do. And so be it. Alright, you take some damage on kill. It's good to know that the collectors appear on different turns. Yeah, I did not get to use my morsels very well, but doesn't really matter. And then Penumbra just kind of beats him to death. How thrilling. Okay, so the Space Prism... It would be appealing if I could make it deployable. The problem is that if I'm going full monstrous, he's eventually going to be 6 capacity, which necessitates that I take capacity. And unlike Monster Train 1, I can't use the Space Prism on turn 1, which largely defeats the point of Space Prism in this world, since I can't use it in the deployment phase. So I could just not go full monstrous, like going into Gorge, Glutton that is, would not be bad. Entumber Assault is fine. We already have Mind Collapses though. But Entumber Assault is like fairly decent. It allows you to do a variety of things, including like turn 1 morsel into 2 morsels. You can also turn like rubble morsels into more exciting morsels. I'm gonna skip though. Entombed Explosive is not a bad pickup. And Draft is okay, but a lot sadder in a world where you can't infuse it into anything. Do I want Entombed Explosive? I think I probably do. Yeah, I'll take it. We'll see what happens. Okay. Sure, I'll take a Baron. Sadly, I can't dualism him. I mean, like, I can, it just doesn't do anything yet. Like, it doesn't increase his stat gains. I could Large Stone him looking for Smidge Stone, which is not unappealing. But I think we're just going to not. Okay, that's good enough for me. And then let's remove you and you. And see what we can do. And I guess we'll still use the Crucible Warden. Not wild about him, but here he is. Okay, so that looks a lot better now. And I may as well feed the others, I guess. But yeah, he's off to a solid start, and we get to reform this and play it out again, which is why we've done the things that we did. And there's that. Didn't need to do any of that, but we did it anyways. And by having a presence on all 3 floors, we pretty consistently get the collectors. I'm still so used to them having damage shield that it feels weird being able to kill them so easily. I mean, none of this really matters. We have the kill. Because he doesn't have a ton of HP, and the Baron is already stacked up pretty nicely, and the Entombed Explosive explodes and does its job. I do like Ember Cache. I do like Prismal Dust. I don't know that I super care in this instance. I'm just gonna skip. I'm gonna skip. I might just go here. I don't know what I'd want at the Merchant of Arms. They're probably decent options, but I think I'm just gonna go here. Like, getting Steward's Quarters for extra capacity would be maybe worth it, but obviously we don't know if that's even going to be on offer. I kind of want to spell chain the Dripfall, but what we're going to do is not get holdover. Okay. Well, I had dreams. They were unfulfilled. Well, what an interesting series of options. I guess we'll take Unnamed Tome. I would have preferred to have that on Intrinsic, but I didn't look at that in time. I mean, it doesn't like tons matter. I don't even really need that either. Whatever. We'll just do that. Bankrupt myself. I probably should have just spent it on removals, because that's what I originally wanted, but then I didn't do it. Either way, we're still in good shape. Okay, so this is going to look a little weird, but what we're going to do is we're going to kill him, which then kills the morsel, and then I can reform the morsel. Yeah, I'll actually just let you kill the morsel, so I can get more harvesting. Okay. And then you're just kind of smashing through, because that's what you do. And then you can get some damage shields, because why not? It's kind of your thing. Fine. Be muted. Who really cares? All we really want is this anyways. Oops. That was not what I meant to do, but my mouse freaked out. I probably need to get a new mouse. Also, I could have dazed him. There was not really any reason not to have dazed him. Which begs the question, why didn't I daze him? And the answer is, don't know. Yeah, I'll just not Dripfall you so that Penumbra can attack you for a chunk. Because that generally seems the best option available to me. Alright. Oops. There we go. I thought I had placed it in the wrong spot for a moment. Okay. And he explodes! Yeah. So far, this is going quite well. Foremost Child is weird. It's always been a strange card. We're going to take Umbra Stone. does make Monstrous Penumbra a lot less necessary. We are going to take draw. I'm going to go here. Although, really the only thing I'd be looking for is, like, Endless and Burnout. Okay. I know I don't, like, totally need this, because I have the Reform already, but this does make my life a little easier. Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine. Realistically, I should do this, but just to get it in the logbook, we're going to go with Monsters 2. And by Monsters 2, I mean we're going to go all the way to Monsters 3. But given what we have, we would have a stronger deck if I were not doing that. Yeah. Well, we'll daze you, I guess. None of this, like, super matters. We should still be able to kill on mid-floor with Penumbra. Our Baron is just a little slow to get started, sadly. But that's okay. Yeah, because, like, you just kind of murdered those guys. That's alright. And then the Baron continues to scale. They're not quite as fast as we would like, since things are happening. Okay. Don't really need a Drip Fall. Although I could have done this differently, I suppose. Well, either way, that's happening. Okay, whatever, we'll just protect you a little bit. And had I thought to check first, I would have given you the other morsel, because that one's suicide against the spikes. And so we could have swapped it with the one that we gave to Penumbra, which would have been better. But whatever, fine, here we are. Well, may as well do this, because I get Ember back, which means that then I can do better things with these guys. Although I don't really need to do so, especially now that the Baron is quite the menace down here. Okay, I'll play that so that you're going to burn out. You can get a morsel, and you can eat that morsel, and this one as well, even though the boss is definitely not going to get up to your floor. That I can verify. But if they did, you'd have slightly more damage shields. If they did, which they did. I mean, Void Binding is very good. And is maybe worth taking here. But I'm gonna not, because we already committed to the Endless Entombed Explosive, which means we do need Ember to play it out, and so we can't just Ember Drain ourselves to death. Engulf and Smoke is good, but I don't think we actually need it here. Yeah, we're going here because I want to dupe. Okay, interesting. Alright, well, then I'm going to greed in a slightly different manner, where we're going to dupe you first. Well, I guess we're going to hold over the Dripfall now. Okay. And then we're gonna do some removals. I guess we'll leave it at that. Anyways, fine. I was originally going to dupe the Baron there, but now with Pyrestone housing, I'm gonna wait slightly longer. So he has a little bit more time to get a useful upgrade on him first. Okay, so you can kill 2 morsels on your own, which is fine and dandy. Oh, I did mess this up, because I forgot that you have Titan Skin, thanks to the Enchanter in the back there. So would need to do this first, because I have to do 7 damage to kill you. So, that's really the only way that I make that work. I always think that these guys give haste, and they don't. Part of what throws me off is that these guys naturally have haste, and so I always, like, I know that something is getting haste in this battle, and so I always think that they're getting it from these guys. Especially because there is a prior enemy that gives haste that is another, you know, music-themed enemy. But it's fine. Alright, look at him go. Getting beautiful, copious stats. Stats spawn, stats, if you will. Well, I guess we'll just daze you a bunch. Because I can. Okay, well, have your steward's quarters, I guess. It's only vaguely useful. Whoops. Yeah, so watch the Baron feast. I didn't play out my Dripfall, though, which was a little bit of a mistake, but not a big deal. We are not going to daze Quoto, because that would be bad. Or not daze, but mute him. Dazing is fine. Who cares about that? I could have killed his backliner. I spaced out, though. But it's fine. But yeah, we don't want to mute him, because then we wouldn't be able to get rid of his Titan Skin. We'd still win even with that, but it is the one thing that makes him dramatically harder. Excavation Eruption is fine, but we're going to skip it here. Gonna skip those. Okay. Well, multi-strike it is. And let's get rid of some things. We're gonna get rid of the Spear Stewards, I guess. Although now I've kind of an awkward situation. Well, that's fine. We're probably going to just not be able to play Penumbra on one of the upcoming fights due to my own hubris. But, you know, sometimes that's what happens. That's what happens. I mean, again, we could just not go to Monstrous 3 and we wouldn't have any problems with capacity, but then we wouldn't have Monstrous 3, and why would we want to live in that life? I mean, I could just go with capacity. I was thinking that I wanted Ember, since I'm devoting so much of my Ember to the Entombed Explosives. And I think that's still likely the case. But we'll see what happens. Alright, well, Baron got a little bit of corruption, but not in a way that meaningfully affects us. Okay. Well, they beat our things to death, and the Baron profits. And then Kayle is just perma-dazed and perma-stuck, as one does. Well, don't really need to do that, but here we go. Oh, I neglected to have enough energy to use Mind Collapse. Doesn't really affect anything. Just would have been nice. Yes, look at all those beautiful stats. When we do make a second Baron, he's no longer going to be getting the Wanderer's Talisman, which is a little bit of a shame, but overall is still a net positive for us. Technically, I want more Harvest. I could have done that differently, but realistically, it does not matter to our needs. Unfortunately, I never did play out the Trample Stone on him earlier because I didn't have Ember to do it at the same time as play out the Entombed Explosives. Which is, again, one of those reasons that I would kind of like to get more Ember. It's always so weird to see... Like, I'm so used to the Higher Covenants, where he always says 3 apples, not 2. And it's weird to realize that there is a world where that's not the case. I mean, first tap's cute. It's not what we're taking right now. We definitely don't need the others. Yeah, I'll take the Ember, even though it's going to lead to us not being able to play Penumbra for this next fight. Okay, I mean, we're going to have a number of problems on this next fight, but overall we'll still be okay. Okay, so we are making Baron number 2. But we don't have capacity for Baron number 2 unless we play out the Steward's Court. Or more specifically, we don't have enough capacity for the Baron and still having both of the entombed explosives, which does matter to us. But that's fine. We'll make it work. Also, my deck is much thinner now. The reanimate might be a problem, especially with the amalgams. But see what we can do. I could also use the Steward's Quarters to play out Penumbra, which we might do depending on how things go. But I think we're okay. Because, like, yeah, he's going to escape, but we can drip fall him. Yeah, it's not ideal, but here we are. I just need to stall long enough, and we'll figure it out. Okay. Yeah. The reanimate is definitely a problem for me, especially because I'm not stacking up my power very quickly. I'm gonna take so much damage. I might die, honestly. Okay, but I do... Oh my god, they have so much reanimate. Okay. Okay, so we can knock off your reanimate at least. Yeah, this is a clusterfuck if I've ever seen one. Yeah. Okay, so like I can kill you. And take a little less damage from this whole situation. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Whatever, fine, we're taking some damage, but we're not dead. There we go. God, it just takes so much to chew through the reanimate. Well, isn't that a problem? That might not be acceptable. Well then, we might need to retry this for once. Cause yeah, I just like got no power onto my Barons is the big issue. And I think the main thing is I just need to play out Penumbra and not be shenanigans about it. And there's a number of things I can do differently. Okay. So... I guess let's do it this way. Oh, whoops. I did that slightly differently. I need to spend less energy so that I can use the Mind Collapse to kill him, then play that out, and do that, and then Drift Follow you, because there's no reason to let you attack. Okay. So you can exist now, which does help us a ton. I mean, we'll play that even though it doesn't really matter unless we have meaningful levels of attack. Okay. Well, here we are. Okay, you're dead. Doesn't really matter. So I could return you down there, and I guess I'm going to. Problem is, again, I'm not actually getting kills to feed the Barons, but that's okay. Kind of. Am I okay with taking that damage? Probably. It's probably better than anything else I've got going on. I could also driffle you onto the same floor, but that's not really helpful now, is it? Well, let's try doing that. I think that's wrong, but it's what we've decided to do, I guess. Okay. Yeah, them having reanimate is real problematic for us. Okay, so we can at least reduce the damage being taken there. Is it perfect? No, definitely not. But it is within maybe acceptable margins. Boy, does it hurt. Boy, does it hurt real bad. Especially because when they die in the Pyron, they're also doing extra damage to me. Because they, you know, deal damage on death as well. Okay, so we're going to not let you be a thing. And then we're gonna Dripfall one of these. It's just a matter of which one. I feel like maybe this one. Yeah, because then I'm able to get all of these killed on the same floor, which is a big deal. Life is definitely a lot more manageable here. Okay. Well. Let's see how it goes. Okay, you don't gain any strength, which is good, because we don't want you to. And then we're going to daze you to bring you down onto the floor, which is enough to get the kill. I don't actually need to do that, but we're doing it anyways. You're dead. You're dazed for a bunch of turns. What a clusterfuck of a fight, but so long as we got Penumbra out, we got there. It's just, like, the Barons are great if I'm getting Harvest, and if I'm not getting Harvest, then they are not doing it for me. But particularly, that's the very tanky team made even tankier by a bunch of Reanimate. And also letting anything get to the pyre hurts doubly. Regardless, we're going here. That's just what's happening. So we can make this deployable. Okay. That doesn't really matter. I will take this, I guess, even though it doesn't really matter. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I was gonna dupe the Steward's Quarters. So I could have 2 deployable ones, which I think is still what I'm doing. So I don't think there's any real great reason for me to not do that. I'm gonna take the Overgrowth Carapace, though. Zone of Silence would be cute, but doesn't matter. Trample Umbra carried me in this challenge by holdover, Spell Chain, Perils, and 2 Furnace Sap. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. Yeah, I was hoping for more offensive equipment, but... And I know I passed by the Swift Steel Dagger, but there were good reasons for that. I mean, honestly, we're just gonna do that. Like, we're making the Crucible Warden worthless, but on the other hand, he's Crucible Warden. I don't really care that much about him. So, that goes there. That goes there. That goes there. That's there. Oh, I did fuck up. I was thinking that I had extra capacity there for some reason. Well, never mind. The Overgrowth Carapace, not worth it. Oh, wow. Get muted. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Here we are. Yeah, I did bind equipment that's going to do me no good. Well, it can do me some good, but for the most part, it's basically worthless. So, like, I could do this to keep you alive if I wanted. Or I can just drip fall the boss again. I think we'll do that so you can just gain some stats, because why not have you contribute some? Although I do wish I'd taken jack strips. I thought about it, and then I just forgot to actually evaluate the rest of it. But it would have been quite good for me, because it would have killed these guys. And more to the point, they would have died while ascending, so they would have died on this floor and still given me the harvest procs, which would have been, you know, nice. But that's not the world we live in, because that's not what I did. That said, we're getting the harvest going decently, which is like our main qualification for victory, so we're okay. And yeah, I know it makes them a little stronger, but that's okay. We are dazing the boss for many turns to come. I mean, he's only got, like, daze 3 right now, but still, we're working on it. I could and should have killed you, but I didn't, because I didn't think about it. Yes, die, you foul creatures. I do need to do this while I still have enough energy. Because fuck those guys. And more to the point, it does actively ruin my game plan. Because, like, if I'm not getting a harvest, it's a big problem. Once again, remember to do this at the right time. Oh, you don't have enough capacity anymore. Whoops, I created a morsel for no reason. But that's fine. I knew that was coming, and I still was unprepared when it actually happened. Okay, so... I guess we'll do that. Our big, beefy boy will get murdered pretty quickly. I could have descended a Baron down there, but I thought that was overall a worse proposition. And regardless, we can do this now. I could descend morsels if I wanted, but we're just going to daze the boss. And just for good measure, we'll have some morsels just chilling out up here as backups. Alright, look at us go. Yeah, jack strips would have been a useful pickup here, but overall, not a bad fight for us. Not the strongest deck by any means, but it worked. And thus, we achieve victory. Delicious victory. And mostly the enemies exploding didn't matter. It was bad when they got to the pyre, but other than that, we were mostly doing fine since we had shielded ourselves. It's so weird to think that Shade Lamp is an unlockable thing. Same with Cave-In. I'm just so not used to these things actually needing to be unlocked. But, here we are. And we have done 16 of 21. And, even though it's 2:30, we're going to do one more run, because I started really late, and I would like to go further. That said, what have we unlocked? Tag Team. 2 unlikely friends. Can the power of friendship win the day? Prince with Talos. Makes sense. Gain the champion of the allied clan. Gains a random upgrade and levels up after each flying boss. Yeah, like, I like the idea of this, but I really wish that you got to pick the upgrade. That said, like, all of Talos' upgrades are fine. when paired with Prince. But we'll see. A new challenger champion is randomly replaced by one that is not from your primary or allied clan. Well, never mind. Not Prince then. In Brawl, all units gain plus 5 attack and plus 10 HP. Your Pyre gains plus 10 attack. I got Celebrate Talos and Primordium. Truly a synergistic duo. Yeah, that is what you want to see. I mean, except for the part where Primordium has to actually be alive to get the bonus, but you get my point. Nonetheless, pretty silly. So that one's interesting. It really is going to matter, like, who we end up getting for a new champion. Your units get bigger as they gain upgrades. Bigger isn't better. Great. Zoom Enhance, get additional upgrade slots. Influential, at the start of turn, spawn a follower unit on a random floor. Okay. Not particularly helpful. If we had a champion like Grail who can do floor-wide buffs, like, yeah, great. That's pretty fabulous, actually. But right here, it's clearly meant to just eat up your floor capacity. Each upgrade you purchase for a unit increases capacity by 1. Yeah, great. That's a problem. Well, that sounds annoying. We're going to do this one. Real quick, I'm going to feed this cat because it is her feeding time, and I should do that. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Let's see what we get. I am very curious to see which champion we have. Okay, Wing Spirit is whatever. Welder Helper, Warbler, and Sword Maiden is an interesting start. Okay, a whole lot of units. We have Rector with Resolve Valor. Okay, interesting. Not the combo I'd hoped for. I mean, like, I'm totally fine with Resolve, Valor, Talos. That is totally fine. But Rector is definitely not the champion I was hoping for. But okay, fine. Here we are. I guess maybe Scorched Steel. It can cause problems, though, if I'm trying to, like, kill my own imps. But I'm gonna have trouble getting them killed. Sure, we'll take it, I guess. Yeah, so here's the deal. This is part of why I didn't want Rector. Like, Accumulator is cute, but its offense scales slowly. And I really need offense. And Burn Bright is not going to work very well. It's a great champion normally, or at least it is in Monster Train 1. Monster Train 2, it's okay. But without any, like, remnant support, Burn Bright becomes dramatically worse. I think it's fine to reroll if a champion you have gets slowly bricked without their clan. I mean, maybe, but I'm not going to do that. I think this is fine enough. It's not a great pickup for us by any means, but it's whatever. Okay. Yeah, and all units get the increase. Also, I'm so weirded out having the Vengeful Shards now because we've been doing so many trials without it. Whatever. Enjoy. The imps at least hit for sort of decent damage right now. Okay, so we just wanted the Warbler. Because I figure the Warbler is a better pickup for us than the Welder Helper. And so this way we have the maximal units on the floor, although I probably should have put Talos in front of the Sword Maiden. Anyways, this is what we got. Also, I should have played the Spear Steward. So be it. Anyways, we're doing okay. Things will be fine. Like, we're going to have a lot of defense, and so I'm mostly worried about the offense. But we're okay. We're okay. What I would really appreciate is getting some good equipment to use with the Sword Maidens. Well, specifically Sword Maiden, and then make multiple Sword Maidens. I would like to get Multi-Strike and or Duality, or Dualism, excuse me, or Smidgestone with the Sword Maiden. I don't care in the slightest about Vent. I already think it's a card that people overvalue. And especially when the enemies have an additional chunk of HP, it becomes dramatically worse. It's still okay going into, like, the sweepers, but we have other ways to deal with that. And yeah, it's just not needed. I will 100% take Rising Rage. Absolutely. I do want Intrinsic for Rising Rage, but I also want a chance to buff our Sword Maiden. I mean, Demon Fiend is fine, but less good when enemies have higher stats. Okay, well, that does make the Rising Rage less important. Not a bad pickup, though. But I still need, like, equipment to actually utilize the Sword Maiden. Yeah, you guys are gonna hurt a whole lot more if allowed to hit in. But, luckily, that's not gonna happen. Okay, well, thanks to Quick, you don't even die, and we just keep buffing. That guy goes to the top floor because too many units. No, we don't get to kill the Collector. It wounds me. Yeah, unfortunately, we're also just not killing all these guys. Well, time to take some fire damage and miss out on a Collector. Luckily, I at least got him down to the point where he's only hitting the pyre once, so that's an improvement. Not great, but it is an improvement. Okay, well... we'll do that so Talus can get more armor. Although I forgot to use Winged Spirit first. Since that would have been correct since I had units that were wounded. And I could have healed them. Doesn't matter. We have what we need here. Even with Talus going down. Hidden Passage is cute. Hornbreak is not bad. And, like, Vent's fine here. It's just not, like, amazing. But we're gonna skip anyways. I'm honestly tempted to take the Blood Suit, dumb as it is. Yeah, I've done bad things. Alright, I'm gonna take this. It's questionable at best. Now, I would like to go here. The healing is not bad. Getting some equipment would be valuable. Also, there's some good rooms. I think I'm still going here, though. Because it would be nice. As long as we actually hit something we want. Alright, dualism is super fine. Okay. Well, isn't that an interesting set of options? Do I mind Leaky Pen? Kind of? Kind of not? I think it's probably okay for me. Coiling Catcher is, of course, just free money. And Nim's Oath is alright, but not really of great concern to us. I guess I'm willing to do this. It's going to be a little bit awkward for one battle, but after that, we'll be okay. we can get you up here contributing. And just beating down good old Archeon. Now, yeah, we're gonna do that so she gets the Valor. It is questionable for a number of reasons, but so be it. Let's see what we can do. I maybe shouldn't be staying on the top floor, but I do think overall I need to do it so I have a better chance of killing. We're just gonna take the damage because I think it's important to me to get as much power as I can. Also, like, setting on the top floor means that we have time for the flagellants to tick down, which is pretty useful. Alright, we're doing alright. And yeah, he's getting stronger, whatever. We're stacking up Valor, and Rector is getting a bunch of HP. That's just kind of how it goes. I'll play this out, because I don't think the Torch is going to do much, and the Train Steward, also not that important to me. He does not have a ton of things. I think I take the least damage by doing that. As much as it's annoying, I'm still taking damage, but this way I kill the backliner, and so I do take less damage overall. Not a ton less, but I think enough that is worth it. Okay, may as well heal Rector. And then, unsurprisingly, they can't get through our big giant wall of power. And we're good. Okay. I mean, I do like Death Metal Hymnist. I very much like Eagle Heart. Sure. I mean, Demonic Fledgling is solid, but we're gonna skip. We're gonna take Ember. And Talos got upgraded, I assume is what that was. Yep, so now it's Valor 4 every turn. So, we're going here so we can dupe. My deck is still questionable at best. I mean, we're just going to go Accumulator 2. He's not going to do a ton of work for us is the problem. We are going to make a second Sword Maiden, though I really need equipment for her to be super meaningful. That said, we can get rid of, like, torches. They do basically nothing for me. I also vaguely want to do, like, Spell Chain here and then -1, but I don't think that matters. I think just reducing the cards in my deck so I hit into other things more often is valuable. Reanimate 1 is questionable. I maybe shouldn't do it, but I am going to do it. Alright, and do I want to play the Blood Suit? I think I don't, even though that means I'll have to play it later. Yeah, I'm going to just take the Vengeful Shard damage here. Because I really don't want you guys to get through. Unfortunately, I drew the Eagle Heart now, Which there's no point in not using it. It's just that I really would have preferred to use it on this floor. Yeah, there's no way we're killing you. Okay. That's all we need for the kill here. And we should just keep gaining in strength every turn. Especially when we can do this and build up our power even further. And like, it's fine that Rector took a little bit of damage for the advancing. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. Alright, let's math a little bit. So currently this is, what, 98 plus another 49. God, it's so close to workable. If only you were, like, way further back. The point is, I don't think torching you has any effect. It did, actually. I didn't think it would. But I guess that does get us just enough of a break point that we only take one hit there. It's still really bad, but less bad, nonetheless. And that's all we need for victory. Yeah, I'm in relatively bad shape overall, but that's fine. I really should have Rising Raged one of these guys. Didn't occur to me. And ends up not mattering. Okay. Yeah, he saps us a little bit. Don't matter. We have decent damage, and Rector's got plenty of HP. No? Maybe. I don't really want a battering ram here, but honestly... I'll take the battering ram. And I will take the benediction. Although those are some high-cost things. So I want to do the dupe. But it's also a problem if I don't do the Merchant of Arms right now. So I think we're gonna do this now. That's not a bad pickup for us. I don't think I want Glass Cannon. I mean, I kind of want the Stoic Plate Mail. I don't really want the Stoic Plate Mail. I just want more equipment. But we're gonna take Fight Club, I guess. And I didn't even think to look at this. No, I mean, Firebrand's not bad, obviously, but... Ooh. Well, isn't that appealing? Yeah, we're absolutely taking Umberstone. 100%. Okay. So, things are looking up all of a sudden. So... Alright, so you can have that, and then you can have the equalizing rings. And so be it. Obviously, we're not, like, the strongest, but I do want the Fight Club, and I obviously want the Umbra Stone, but we're doing this anyways, I guess. Which is maybe questionable. Maybe it's better if I don't do it like that. Okay. It sucks not being able to kill collectors. Unfortunately, anything I do here, I think results in me just taking more damage. Yeah. Because I just get, like, a bunch of sap if I do anything here. Which is not appealing. Oh well. Also, probably should not have advanced Rector, because he would have gotten the bonus strength from the Harvest if I had him further and back. Well, this would have been helpful a while ago. And by a while ago, I mean like a turn ago. But anyways, the minus Ember is really causing an issue for me. Which is my own fault for taking it, well aware. Doesn't make me any less excited for the situation. Oh, I probably should have just played that out. I don't think I needed the trample. Whoops. Alright, we'll just give ourselves a whole bunch of armor from the Valor and smash through. Alright, one of them dies, that's fine. We then just kind of beat this monster to death. Alright, well, we're getting there. Even if I'm at low health and a questionable prowess. Not helpful. Kind of helpful, but a bit too late. I'll take it just so I have more equipment. Well, I do want to go to the Merchant Magic, but I think we're going here to heal because, like, letting through one enemy is gonna kill me. Also, like, the removals are not bad for me. Fine. I don't know that that's truly helpful, but so be it. Alright, here we are. Well, I think we can handle the lifesteal, maybe. I think we still want to set up on top floor. Unfortunately, I didn't want to draw the equalizing rings there. Okay, well, we'll wait on ascending Talos. Though it is perhaps questionable to do so. Well, I wanted to get out the Warbler, but so be it. I don't have quick now, and I don't have a lot of other things, and yada yada yada. Yeah, you're still dying at this rate, which is a huge problem. Yeah, I think I need to get the Warbler for sure. I could also, like, have the Sword Maiden up front. Like, it doesn't have to be Rector currently, because they actually have decent amounts of Valor, which is, like, you know, a reason I should be letting them tank. It definitely seems like, I don't know, the better plan. Okay. So I could do that. Which I think I am gonna do. Alright, he dies, we don't move Talos, but we hold out for the Warbler, which we're guaranteed to draw this turn, because that's the rest of our deck. That's the wrong floor. That's the right floor. We don't, like, totally need the Warbler when we've got... like, we just have enough power that, like, the Warbler is not absolutely needed, and we have damage shields and armor. Like, we're doing okay overall. Okay, we're just gonna do that. Gonna do the battering ram. I really need to, like, make some things cost less. I'm probably just taking more Ember here either way, but I don't know. We got problems. I mean, okay shape overall, but it's still a bit dodgy, all things considered. I forgot the Warbler didn't have quick for a moment. I saw that one guy was surviving, and I was very displeased. But that was not the case. And we're just rotating these guys up front so that we get different... We get extra armor, as we are essentially refreshing their Valor armor every couple turns. I could have also Rising Raged a Steward, which would have been a good call. And I didn't. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Also, I could have just Rising Rage KO, which probably would have been the better play. God, I forget that KO becomes a monstrosity if allowed to feed. Anyways, it's fine. We advance Rector, he's got a bunch of HP, we just kind of chunk down Kale, even if he's a bit of a monster. And there we go. Only took a tiny bit of damage. Would love to do the Hymnist, but I just don't think I can. There's like maybe a world in which I could get him on the team, but it's really unreliable. So we're just gonna take another Eagle Heart. We're gonna take more Ember, even though more draw would also be appealing. Okay, and yeah, so Talos is at rank 3 now. I think we're going here so I can minus cost some spells or hold over them or whatever. And then also make another Sword Maiden. Although that does complicate the Warbler situation. I think it's still worth it though. Or we can make another Eagle Heart. That's also an option. So I could permafrost this, which I think is what we're doing. I will do this because the battering ram is too expensive as is. We'll do that. And then whatever. But now we have another Eagle Heart that we can play regularly. And we'll do this. And we'll have a third Sword Maiden, though I'm not as convinced it's necessary when we have Rector with Trample. We're doing this, even though we're going to get Scourge cards, and Rax is a bit of a menace, but we're doing what we're doing. Yeah, that's all of my equipment, because I still don't have much equipment. But it's enough that these guys get 48 Valor right off the bat, which is not bad. Also, I no longer have to wait to fly Talos up here. I do want the Fight Club. I think we want to do the Benediction, though. Because, like, it's important to have the damage shields for whenever Rax rolls around. Because he does kind of scare me. Unfortunately, the Scourge cards are the worst, and I've gotten, like, no Collector ever. Probably should have played the Spear Steward. Oh well. Whatever. We're just going to keep playing these out. Generate a bit of Valor. I should have other units in front of Rector. Both so that they can generate armor, but also because his trample works best when it's ensuring that we're clearing the floor, since it does take a bit of me softening up enemies to reliably do that now. Yeah, that doesn't help. Oh, and I need that. Okay, whatever, fine. We'll take the 10 damage. I don't love it, but it's what we got. It just takes too much effort for us to chew through all the reanimate. Which also means we're probably taking more damage here. Although we do have the Eagle Heart. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way that I take less damage here. So, whatever. I take a good chunk of damage just because it takes me a lot of work to get through the reanimate. Oh, God. Well. Yep. And then, unsurprisingly, I do win on this floor. I don't love how much damage I took going into this, but fine. I mean, I like this, but do I really want to take it right now? I think the answer is no. We'll take another death suit, even though it's a little questionable. And I think we're going here to heal and do something, but I'm not sure what that something is. It's probably duping the Eagle Heart. I will definitely do this. I will definitely do that. Full healing champions is interesting, but not really necessary. I mean, I think we're just holdovering this. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do this. And then we're just going to dupe the... Where is it? Am I blind? Literally right next to what I was looking at. Anyways, we're duping the zero-cost Eagle Heart. Would love to get more things out of my deck, but I think this is fine. I think this is fine overall. I could probably set those up on mid-floor instead, actually. I think that's what we want to do. I have less time to scale, but I have more time to protect myself from Seraph, and that's the big concern. Okay, unfortunately I don't want to play out the Equalizing Rings yet, because I want to get the Blood Suit. And you can go up here for a moment. Okay. Oh, I forgot that I have Emote Tome. Otherwise, it would have done the Eagle Heart, probably, but whatever. Okay, well, let's hope we get the Warbler on this coming turn. Benediction, also good, but the Warbler is the thing that I want. Wrong ordering. Also, I forgot that I can fly Talos to mid-floor. I don't have to wait for the other thing, because it's already overstacked. God damn it. Not what I was trying to play. I was trying to play the Fight Club. And I clicked the wrong card. Right. Let's do this a third time. Actually paying proper attention. Also, you should be here. Okay, well, taking some damage, so be it. These things happen. Yeah, get down from there. Hold on one moment. Alright. Crisis averted. So, let's get you somewhere safe. So we're gonna do this so it gets copied by the Emote Tome, maybe? But do I care? Because it would also mean not using the Eagle Heart, which I do want to use the Eagle Heart. It's like, what would that look like? And I guess this way would allow me to reposition more. If I really wanted, I could also move him, which I don't think I care about. Okay, we'll just leave that be, I guess. Because, like, I do think the Eagle Heart is something we want to use every turn. And yeah, I'm taking damage from the amalgams. Whatever, so be it. Who cares? So you have my highest attack. Also, having you up front means that I can heal you, which then grants you even higher attack, because you have the equalizing rings, and that's just how that works. Also, these are worth Valor too, thanks to the Celestial Cascade, which is something I should be keeping in mind. But yeah, Rector Flicker, pretty good with the equalizing rings. Even better when we have Trample, since he's just going to get a lot of stats from existing. I probably should have moved you first, but that's fine. We'll just do that so we don't take the damage from the Amalgam. And we'll just kind of beat enemies to death, as one does. I could do this. I think we're going to do this, because I think I'll still have enough power. Maybe not. Yeah, because I'm not quite reaching the back line there. Never mind. Never mind. If I had another Eagle Heart this turn, I definitely would be able to do that, but not as is. I can move one of them if I want, but not both. So... that's fine. If I really wanted to, I could maybe move Talos down to the bottom floor to block for me. Okay, so then let's Rising Rage so that we don't have to take the Amalgam damage and we get to kill you a turn sooner. And then just for good measure, we'll give ourselves a little bit more Valor. And then do that. And then he's super dead. And he's dead. And there we go. Not the easiest of the runs. Definitely among the harder of the challenges that we did. Though that was partly just for the specific things we got. But, like, Rector, for instance, did end up being a key and important member of our team. But that was largely because we got the Trample for him. I mean, the Equalizing Ring's also quite important, but... we could have done Shield of Wing on him for something similar. It just would have required us to build somewhat differently. But that also would have worked quite well. Regardless, we got there. Which brings us to, I want to say 17 of them done? It's a very satisfying sound as it ticks up all the things. Oh boy, we've unlocked Queen. I mean, she's cool. Like, I'm always a fan of Queen. Anyways, 17 and 21 done. We're nearing the end. They've gone pretty quickly, but it helps that I haven't had to repeat any of them. I've done them all in the first try. So, the infamous cheat and repeat. Blast the enemy to bits through their defensive techniques. All spells gained holdover. Minor bosses enter with Stealth 5. Yeah, that's a problem. And then shields up, enemy units enter with Damage Shield. And then we got the 2 spellcasting clans and Aquaths. Okay. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing that exists. Yeah, so that one I can definitely see being a problem. There are a lot of ways around it. Like, there's a couple sweeping spells in the clans, and you can, like, apply Frostbite to also, like, knock off damage shields and things. And Frostbite, there's ways to apply good chunks of it, which also helps with the stealth, but, yeah, it's a problem. I don't know. I see a lot of ways to approach it, but I'm curious what we're actually going to end up doing. Either way, that's not a now thing. I am going to stop there for the night because we already went overtime. Because I've been doing that a lot recently, and today in particular, I started streaming rather late because my computer was driving me crazy, and I hope I've fixed the problem. It seems gone for the moment, unless there was some audio crackling that I was unaware of, but I think it was fine. And I don't know what caused it. I don't know if I actually solved it or if it's just temporarily gone. Who knows? It's going to weigh on me. The hard part is getting past early range of the dying to leaks. Yeah, I mean, that definitely sounds like the problem. There's a lot of ways to make cheat and repeat work once you've had time to refine your deck. But if things go badly early game, they'll just shred you. Which is sort of the same with the challenge I was just doing. Where, like, the enemies with the extra stats, it doesn't sound like a lot of stats, but it makes it much easier for enemies to squeak by with just a tiny bit of HP, get a hit on the pyre, and they're doing extra damage to the pyre. Like, it really did compound. Anyways, we're stopping there for the night. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thanks for being here, even with my late start. I will see you tomorrow. Actually, not tomorrow. It's Thursday. I've lost track of all time. I'm gone for the weekend. I'll be back on Monday. See you then.